growing up, we didn't have a car. So I rode the RTD, dating myself here, the RTD to junior high. And every day there was a man on the bus. The bus would be packed with, students as well as just people going to work.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like standing room only. And there was a man on the bus who would grind up against different, girls and women. And you could move away from him, but he scooted up close to you. This happened like every day. I think it was even at some point on the news or something like that. But everyone knew what he was doing. Everyone would just kind of move themselves. I mean, he was doing it to women, but they would just try to move themselves away. But there was only so much you can move because the bus was completely packed. But nobody stopped this person from doing it. None of us screamed out. I mean, I was a kid. I still could have, but I was scared.
Yeah.
Right. And you see him doing this to other women, and the women aren't necessarily saying anything. They're trying to move away from the person, but everyone can see it. Everyone's looking at him, moving himself closer to anyone who moved away from him, and no one said anything, or did anything. And another, big instance is like growing up, my mom's ex-husband was violent in the home, and, I would run through the building and like bang on doors and ask somebody to call the police, like to help. No one even like answered. No one said anything through the door. Nobody called the police.
Yeah.
And I was afraid to call the police myself back then, because a lot of the times the police officers would say who called, which would just make him more enraged.
Yeah.
But I got to a point where I did call, and I would say, hey, don't say that I'm calling, and sometimes they did anyway. What are you going to do? You have to call. But the fact that no one helped, no one in the building even, it's one thing not to open your door, but not to call the police, not to open the door and let the kid come in at least, or, I had friends whose friends and their parents knew what we were going through, and no support there either. So I understand everyone's kind of scared and doesn't want to get involved, but my goodness,